What's up, everybody? Grumpy Giant coming at you from my Skyblock paradise. And today we're going to continue down the blood magic line. I spent a little bit of time between episodes doing the blank slate rituals. Let's get back to blood. These guys, the blank slates. So it's just, we did a couple of them on the last episode. I did almost 3 stacks. Just got a bunch together. The other thing I did, I went to the Nether, where we can reliably get mobs to spawn, and threw a bunch of snares and got a bunch of the demonic will, right? What we can do with the demonic will, there's a couple of things that we need to do pretty early on. So one thing we want to do is get a sentient sword, right? Which is going to be a petty tartaric gem plus an iron sword with will or the tartaric gems in the Hellfire Forge. That gives us the sentient sword, however you want to pronounce that. The other thing we need to get taken care of, we need to make ashes, arcane ashes, another Hellfire Forge recipe with the demonic will or a gem in the Hellfire Forge. So I've got the stuff to do that real quick. So let's look at our demonic wills that we got. Let's see, this one's 0.03. That's terrible. Let's see if this will do it. So we're going to want a redstone, a charcoal, actually a bone meal needs to go in there, but it might work just the same. And see, yep, so this will work at this tiny bit little awful demonic will. So we've got our arcane ashes. It's used to draw the circle on the ground. Now, if only I can remember what we needed that for. Okay, let's look at the quest book too, because we need to kind of follow along there. Using blood. There we go. So we needed arcane ashes and the divination sigil. Right, so using the Hellfire Forge, you can make arcane ashes. When placed on the ground, they will allow you to make sigils. One of those sigils is the divination sigil. And that's kind of important, because without that, we can't really see the tier of our altar, the tier of our incense altar down below. We can't see any of that. So we need to make the divination sigil. Now let's take a look here. So we need to throw down the alchemy array with a redstone and a blank slate, right? So let's get... I've got redstone, I don't have the blank slate. So let's grab a blank slate, and we can hopefully get this one taken care of. So we're going to do it right over here in the corner. Right, and we need our arcane ashes, our redstone, and our blank slate. We're going to want our magnet down here too, because I think we're going to need to turn it off. So the arcane ashes, you just right-click on the ground, and then here, do we right? Let's see. Yes, so we right-click, and then we'll throw the blank slate in. It'll start doing its thing, right? And it just kind of works. It's going to go through and do some fancy-schmancy stuff here, and boop, we got our divination sigil. Right, so now we can that's showing our current essence. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I guess that's just showing us our current essence, right? It should show us our altar tier. Okay, well. Alright, so I guess we'll kind of mess with that in just a second. So we've got 4,000 buckets in our inventory. LP from the blood network to create certain items. The alchemy table. The sentient sword is what we were really looking for, though. Because this allows us to get demonic will without having to do the whole snare process. So this is kind of a big one. And it will allow us to carry around Tartaric gems. So let's get a sentient sword put together. We need an iron. Get out of here. An iron sword. And we've got seemingly a ton of these things. And we need the Petty Tartaric Gem, which is just this stuff. So glass, a lapis, gold, and redstone. We can do all that. Glass. Where's my regular glass? Glass. Lapis. A gold. And the redstone we've got. Right. So let's head up here. Get us... We're going to want a couple of these, but we'll build another one in just a second. So gold, glass, lapis, redstone. That's definitely not going to work. What's that recipe? Blood. Let's look at the Tartaric. There it is. Petty Tartaric. Okay, so redstone, gold, glass, lapis. Redstone, gold, glass, lapis. That should... This might not have enough will. Yeah, it didn't have enough will to be able to do it. Yeah, so it needed one full will. So there's our Petty Tartaric Gem. Now, the big thing about the Petty Tartaric Gems, while we're doing this, let's put that and that and see. Yeah, that'll make our sword. So the thing about the Petty Tartaric Gems, we're going to need to make another one pretty much immediately, right? Because what we need to do, we need to go now and kill stuff with that sword with a Tartaric Gem in our inventory. So let's get the stuff to get all of this put together. There we go. And we'll see if that that soul that we have in here, yeah, it should be fine. Alright, so redstone, gold, glass, lapis. This will get us our second Tartaric Gem. So it's petty, which means it's the lowest level that we can have. But what we need to do is we need to kill enough to fill the Tartaric Gem. I think the basic gems hold 40. They might hold 60 raw will. But all we need to do is have this in our inventory, right? So, and I think... No, that doesn't work anymore. That might be done in the Hellfire Forge. In any case... We can come over here, drop these guys off for the moment. Don't need the bone meal, gunpowder, or charcoal right now. The weak blood orb can stay. The petty gem definitely needs to stay. Divination sigil, and we'll put that away too. Now there is one thing that needs to be noted about the sentient sword. We should be able to enchant this thing, yeah. So leech 4, sharpness 4, yeah. Let's pull those off of there and see what we get if we do it a second time. Lifesteal 3, sweeping edge 3, that's getting better. That is getting better. So we'll go with that for now, and I'd like to put unbreaking and possibly mending, but you know what's fun about that? We've got those. I wonder if we have any sharpness or anything. Holding, no. Whole bunch of unbreaking. Looting. We'll do looting. Yeah, we can stand smite. Mending. That was what I was looking for right there. These swords do have durability, and they're not the easiest thing to repair. Oh, we can't put smite on that? Oh well, that's fine. Oh, we can't put unbreaking on there. So there we go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I can live with that. I'd like sharpness 5, but, you know, sharpness 4 is fine. So what I will do is, right now I will go to the nether and kill off some baddies in the nether and get some will. As far as I know, these have to be hostile mobs. I don't think it works with passives. I think it has to be, I mean, I guess we can go find out. There is a dude right here. A little cow. Yep. So it's going to have to be hostile. So yeah, I'm going to run to the nether real quick, and I will be back once I get this thing filled up. Alright guys, I am back, and we've got a full Petty Tartaric gem. It contains a maximum of 64 will, as it turns out. So I was kind of thinking, and looking through everything, what I'd like to do first is, before we get to what we needed the Petty Tartaric gem for, I'd like to build the alchemy table, okay? And this is one, not only is it one of the quests, but, crap. Add blood. But it's going to allow us to get a little bit further into the stuff that we need to get to for the lockout here. Yeah, okay. So, let's run over here, and we're going to set this guy down. And we're going to use this corner again. Let's see how he drops. He's probably going to drop funny. Yeah, okay. So the alchemy table's kind of funky. It's got a weird GUI. We'll get to this eventually. We don't need to hit it right this second. But we will get to it soon. So I'd like to kind of continue down this line here. The reason that we needed the Tartaric gem was actually for the will crystals. I don't know that we're gonna worry about that too much yet. We need to get extra LP storage in our system here, right? And the way we do that is by upgrading some of these runes. All right, and right now we're only going to do a handful of them. We will continue shortly beyond that, but I want to get some capacity runes, okay? And let's take a look and see what we can do for capacity runes. So a rune of capacity is an imbued slate, which we don't have. What is the imbued slate? So reinforced slate in a tier 3. Well, I mean, we technically have a tier 3. We have a couple of reinforced slates, but we don't have... Okay, so I guess what we're going to need to do then... let's get 14. Is put the altar back together long enough to get a few imbued slates. Alright, so let's see. Will this work? Because this should technically be a tier 3. Definitely seems to be working. If it's got enough capacity. That I don't know. Yeah, okay, cool. So it is gonna work. We will need to do... I gotta get stuff rearranged so I can actually do this as required. So there's that, and we can do a little bit of that, and we'll wait till we can eat again. So this takes 5,000 LP. That's not the one we wanted. No, we want the reinforcement. Okay. Fun. So we can make 2 with just these, we can make two of the runes that we need. Right? Yeah. So let's do a little bit of this again. Boop. And I guess we can, like, I'll show you how this is put together. Let's grab 2 of them from up here. And then we can upgrade the 2. So a rune of capacity. There. There. Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's go throw these runes of capacity down. And we should... So it could hold 10 buckets before. So now it should be able to hold 12 if I remember correctly. Yeah, that looks about right. We also need to upgrade our incense altar. We're not really going to be able to take this much beyond... I don't know. I can't tell. So anytime when the sacrificial dagger is buffed by the incense altar, there starts up a cooldown on the dagger where you can't use it for a certain amount of time. Yep, so this will now hold 12. So each of these basic rune of capacities increases your LP storage by 1,000. So I'm going to get a little bit of this done and upgrade probably this entire first tier. And that'll give us 18 buckets of storage. And what we'll look at are the different runes. So we can do a rune of self-sacrifice, but that requires a higher blood orb. So actually, you know what? Why don't we do that? So the higher tier blood orb, outside of the weak blood orb, is the redstone, a block of redstone put through this, and it requires 5 buckets of the LP, of the life essence. It's going to take a minute, but okay. But once this is done, then we can start looking at some of the other runes as well, and we won't need this weak blood orb anymore. But it will allow us to do a few more things that we couldn't do before. So as soon as this is done, I'll go ahead and knock out a few more of these runes. But I want to kind of wait until... There we go. So now we have an apprentice blood orb, and that opens up a few more of the things that we didn't have access to before, such as the rune of self-sacrifice. With the apprentice, I think we can do this. Let's see. Yep, apprentice right there. We couldn't do it with the weak, but we can do it with the apprentice. So we can do rune of self-sacrifice. This gives us a boost to the amount of LP that we get each time we do the little pricking of ourselves to get more LP. So yeah, give me just a minute. I'm going to get some more of this stuff upgraded. I'll probably throw down a couple of those runes of self-sacrifice as well. And I will be right back. Alright guys, I am back. I've gotten our altar upgraded. I put the glass in here to kind of show that you can put any block, as long as it's not one of the rune blocks. You can put any block in here to just kind of fill it in and give you a place to stand. We will be expanding this, but before we can expand this to the next tier, which would be tier 4, tier 4 is going to sit out here at this level. All of this will eventually get filled in a little bit more with the incense ritual. But until we do that, and that's still a little ways away, it's not something that we need to be super, super concerned with. With all of the rune of capacity and rune of self-sacrifice out here, we're getting about 6 buckets of LP per poke. with a chance at a 20% increase due to the incense setup down here. And we can store a maximum 28 buckets of the LP in the altar. So we're getting to a place now where we're able to do a little bit more. But what we need to do is we need to create, and I don't think that one's going to have enough, so we may have to use our petty for this. The petty Tartaric gems can be put in the Hellfire Forge to use as fuel. This is kind of like the fuel slot in other furnaces and other things. And what you use is raw will for fuel. Right, so we've got our petty Tartaric gem. What we need to do is create the binding reagent, right? Which we're going to use the raw will. Crap, that's probably not good. So we're gonna have to upgrade the petty gem. We need to get to a common, I guess, because we can't use any of the other stuff. So, ouch. So we're gonna have to create one more petty Tartaric, which we can do. That's not a huge thing. But we're gonna do kind of go through this process. So we need to find a demonic will with at least one, and then the petty Tartaric was gold, lapis, redstone, and glass. So gold, and then lapis, and we've got pretty much everything else for this process. So let's throw the demonic will that has one, redstone, gold, lapis, and glass. And we got that recipe wrong somewhere. Right there. We need to create one petty gem right there. So to move on to the next tier, we need to get back to blood magic and get a common is going to be lesser. So lesser is going to be a block of lapis, block of redstone, and a diamond. Lapis, redstone, diamond, and our unused Tartaric gem. So we'll get this demonic will out of here. We'll throw this one over here, right? So block of lapis, or block of redstone, block of lapis, diamond, gem. And this should give us the lesser, and then we'll have to fill the lesser. Boom. So there's our lesser, and we still have 43.9 will in our petty. So let's get back to blood magic. And we need to get to common. Right, so this is going to use 50 will. The lesser can store, I don't know, probably 200 something. So let me, let's go, you know what, let's clean out our inventory. And we'll go to the nether real quick and we'll bust out getting some of this gnarliness. So there's a will, there's a will. The divination sigil might as well go back. The apprentice blood orb we can keep, but we can get rid of some of this other stuff. And we'll keep the diamond sword. We're going to need that. Cobble, blank rune, sentient sword we need. Petty can probably go away for now because we need the lesser that's full. Arcane ashes we can keep, and then this thing we can keep. Alright, so let's get this stuff put in here for now. Right, and honestly we don't need that either. Alright, off to the nether. Let's run to the nether, get to that fortress, kill some baddies, You'll see it really doesn't take a whole lot of time. The sentient sword is affected by looting, I believe. It used to be. And the looting kind of helps boost. That's the one we want. Yes. The looting kind of helps boost how quickly you're able to get will out of the mobs, which tends to make this a little bit easier, a little bit faster. Not to mention, blazes give quite a bit. So let's get some bad guys killed off. Yeah, this is kind of the downside to the nether in a skyblock like this, when the nether is also a skyblock. You wind up, because this is the only place that mobs can spawn, right? Naturally. So you wind up just absolutely covered. In mobs. So we've got 135 will. Alright, we can just kill a few more. I don't remember what the minimum amount that we needed was. Just a good thing we're as kind of brokenly overpowered as we are. So, let's see what of this we might be able to send back. Would you mind not setting me on fire, please? That would be great. Good, so our soul gem is now full. And we can head on back. So let's head back and we will continue down this process. And once we get our common gem, or common soul thing. Oh, hello, sheepies. These sheeps are a little bit insane, I do believe. So let's get up here. Let's get our common. And we're going to have to stop off over there and grab some stuff. Because we need the goodies to make the common gem, right? So let's look. Let's go at blood again. And look at the gem. Oh, look, we got some wills. We got a little bit of will. Just a little bit. Not a whole lot. Okay, common gem. A common gem. So for the common gem, we need an imbued slate, a diamond, another Okay. All right. So this is all stuff, yeah. I kind of don't feel like dealing with that right now. So I will do that. I will do that between episodes. We're about at the wrapping up point anyway. But I think what we can do, one of the quests is to build out the Demon Crucible. Can we do that? No, that's going to require a common too. Okay. I tell you what, let me get the stuff together to build out the common gem, and I will be right back. All right, guys. So I've got everything we need to put the common Tartaric gem together, so we can get rid of the petty here. We need the lesser in here. We need a diamond, a block of gold, and an imbued slate. The lesser Tartaric gem needs to be basically full, and then we'll get this thing going. It will cook it out, and we'll get the common. And there is our common gem with a lesser gem there. So we have our common Tartaric now. We're going to need to fill it, which means another trip to the Nether, to the what is basically our version of a mob farm. I think what I'll do is I'll get that all set between episodes, because this episode is about to hit the end. We will get everything done. We needed the common for the binding reagent. Right? Let's take a look. So, binding reagent is somewhere. Is right there. Yeah, see, that just says common. Yeah, because it's minimum 400 will, and it doesn't take a whole lot of it, but it's minimum 400. So, we'll get the binding reagent done, because we need to get the bound blade, and that is done on that alchemy array, the ashes on the ground and all that. That gets us a bound blade, which uses the LP out of our network, and will give us a chance to get blood shards. We need those blood shards to create the bloodstone tiles. The blood shard plus a chisel, plus a stone, any stone, will get us the bloodstone tiles. We need the bloodstone tiles to do the next tier upgrade for the this altar. And then we'll be able to basically be done, because we're not going to be able to go beyond that. The tier 5, the tier 4 is what we can get to. The tier 5 altar requires beacons, and we have zero way of getting beacons because we can't fight the Wither yet. I don't know when that happens, but from what I can tell here, we're not going to need to get to the Wither. We'll be able to get through all this stuff relatively easily, but you know what? Let's look, though, real quick. Let's see if we can throw together some of this ritual stuff, and then maybe next episode we can just kind of knock out some of the questing. So, the ritual stone is right there. So, master ritual stones, 4 ritual stones. But we need, okay, let's see, blood orbs. So we're at the apprentice right now. The magician is a block of gold on a tier 3 altar, 25,000. Can we do we have 25,000 LP capacity? I think we have 28, don't we? Yeah, 28,000. So, you know what? Why don't we do that real quick? Where's my sacrifice dagger? There's our sacrificial dagger. Are we out of food, really? Okay, so that's fun. Maybe we'll take care of that too, because that was kind of a plan anyway. If we're gonna continue down this path, so yeah, you know what? We'll do that at the first thing of next episode. We'll knock out the next tier of blood orb, and probably have to set up some kind of food too. Well, I do have a plan for that, and we'll go into that. We're gonna kind of jump back to industrial foregoing for a few minutes to get that done. So yeah, let's do that. Next episode, we'll take care of the food situation, and we will knock out some more blood magic. All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit that like button. Really appreciate it. Really helps me out. If you enjoy what I'm doing on this channel, or you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate that too. And until next time, Grumpy Giant signing out. Bye-bye.